Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Apopka High School welcomes you to Joe Sterling Gymnasium for the start of Day 2. It's Game 9 of our 10th annual Metro versus Florida Challenge. The event that pits the reputation of the Orlando Metro Conference and the 20 public schools in Orange County against some of the best talent in the greater Central Florida area. And today we welcome as our guests for game number 9, wearing the black jerseys, visitors on the scoreboard from Mount Dora Christian Academy. They are the Bulldogs. And wearing the white jerseys, home on the scoreboard, representing the Orlando Metro Conference from Freedom High School, please welcome the Patriots. Let's meet the teams. We'll begin with our guests from MDCA. And we will start at shooting guard with 6-foot junior, number 0, Rodney Bryant. At shooting guard, 6'1" senior, number 2, Chase Spinelli. At shooting guard and small forward, 6'3" senior, number 3, Edwin Chapman. At power forward and center, 6'6" senior, number 22, Jabril Nadaye. And finally for the Bulldogs, at shooting guard and small forward, 6'4" senior, number 34, Jack Webster. And our longest continuously serving coach of any team participating in this year's Metro versus Florida Challenge in his 19th year at Mount Dora Christian, Mr. Stephen Hayes. And now let's meet the Freedom Patriots. And we will start at guard, 5'11" senior, number 1, Braden Van Bart. At guard, 5'8" junior, number 2, Austin Davis Garcia. At guard, 6' senior, number 10, Brian Munoz. At forward and center, 6'4" senior, number 21, Jagger Fremstad. And finally for the Patriots at center, 6'5", senior, number 23, Maxwell Time. The head coach of the Patriots in his 3rd year at Freedom, Mr. Duke Leonardo. The officials for today's game are from the Central Florida Officials Association here in Orlando. Today's game is being live streamed for those of you here in the arena. If you would like to let your friends and family know back in Mount Dora, back in Orlando, or wherever in the world they may be, they can tune in on our YouTube channel, Metro versus Florida Challenge. Just search for us on YouTube using your favorite mobile device, computer, or smart TV. Or you can also get the direct links on our website, metrovsfl.com, where we also have live scores and stats. And good morning. Welcome to Joe Sterling Gymnasium. Mark Barchi, Media Director for the Metro versus Florida Challenge, here with you for game number 9 and the start of Day 2. It's our short day, only 7 games today, only 7, instead of 8 that we had on Wednesday, and we'll have 8 more on Saturday. Here we're going to get Van Bart, takes the first shot, he's got it. That is Braden Van Bart on the layup to put the Patriots on the board. Smalley gets the ball taken away from him by Van Bart. For those of you not familiar with the format of this event, patterned after some of our NCAA conference challenges, this is an event that pits the Orlando Metro Conference, the home team in each of the 23 games, against one of the best schools we could find from the greater Central Florida area. They could be private schools from Orange County. They could also be schools from Seminole, Lake, Osceola, or Polk counties. And here we're going to get Jagger Fremstad with a short jumper for 2. We do have some even farther traveling schools in this event. We have Mainland from Daytona Beach and Vero Beach all the way from Indian River County, as the three doesn't fall there for Chapman. Offensive rebound goes to Spinelli. And so at the end of the event, we tally up the number of wins for the Metro Conference teams against the number of wins for what we call the Florida teams, the non-Metro teams. Bryant's jumper here doesn't go, but Bryant gets his own putback, and the Bulldogs are on the board. So far, the Orlando Metro Conference has done quite well in this event. Only 2 years have they not come up with the higher total win count. Fremstad is a miss there, goes out of bounds off the Patriots. It'll be Bulldogs ball. In total, 102 wins for Metro Conference teams, 70 wins for the non-Metro teams in the 9 years leading up to this event. Another second chance basket courtesy of Rodney Bryant. So he has all 4 of the Bulldogs' points, and we're all tied up. For the last 2 years, this event has been on MLK weekend because the FHSAA changed the basketball schedule such that the season did not actually start until after Thanksgiving, making it impossible to hold a regular season event over Thanksgiving week. Now the FHSAA has moved that calendar back the way it was before, and so we are able to put these games on the record. And we are back to Thanksgiving where we first started. Cut to the inside, we're going to get our first foul.
White 23.
Push is called against Patriots number 23, Maxwell Dye, his first and the team's first. Checking into the game for Freedom, number 4, Alan Archer. Basket by Jabril Jayad on the inbound from Bryant. We'll go quickly to the other side. And it's a good take from Edwin Chapman from the paint for 2. So after opening with a 4-0 run from Freedom, the Bulldogs now on an 8-0 run. Fremstad can't get it to go from the key, and we're going to get a tussle over the rebound. Held ball, possession Bulldogs. This is the 10th anniversary year for this event. We've had anywhere between 19 and 23 games. This is the largest event we've ever had. Jumper from the top of the key, and it's an air ball for Webster. That's going to go out of bounds. Steal. And not able to convert.
White 10. White
Foul
10
is called against number 10, Brian Munoz on the hold. That's his first personal foul. And it's the team's second. Good rebound there by Bryant. Also drawing the foul in the process. We'll go to the paint. Bounces out for Bryant. Rebound goes to Fremstad. From the top of the arc, Fremstad's 3 is no good. We're going to get a foul on the rebound.
Blank 22.
Hold is called against number 22. Jabril J, that's his first, the team's first.
Flag 22.
Foul is called against number 22. Jabril and Jay, that's his second personal foul, the team's second. Basket is good. Fremstad shooting one. Three-point play won't convert. Jay gets the rebound. Outside shot won't go for Bryant, and the rebound goes to the Patriots. Outside shot, not going to fall for Davis Garcia. Rebound goes to the Patriots, and they'll get another chance to reset here. Alan Archer is fouled on the attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot two for Freedom. The foul is called on number 3, Edwin
Flag
Chapman. That's his first, the team's third. Checking in for Freedom, number 0, Etienne Gomez. Two for two at the line for Archer. Freedom has undone the damage done by the Bulldogs in the last couple of minutes. They're back to a tie game. And a bad pass gets picked up by Fremstad, and we're going to get a foul at the other end. Nope, never mind, it's turnover. Out of bounds, Bulldogs ball. Outside shot, bounces off. Tallest guy on the floor gets the rebound, that's Fremstad. And Garcia loses his dribble, gets stolen by Chapman. He tries to go all the way, and he does draw a foul. Chapman fouled on the attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot two for the Patriots. Foul is called against... for the Bulldogs. The Patriots foul is called against number 13, Holden McKenzie, his first, the team's third. Spinelli back in. Backcourt violation. Bulldogs ball. Davis Garcia back in. Rodney Bryan on the take for the Bulldogs. Four 0 run for the Bulldogs. Archer in trouble at the baseline, falls to the floor, and he is going to get called for traveling. Bulldogs ball. Three-point basket for Jack Webster. The pass by Rodney Bryant. Checking into the game for the Bulldogs, number 3, Edwin Chapman. Padilla goes to the outside corner, and Fremstad's got it. Fremstad for 3 from Padilla. Four seconds to go. Bulldogs are just going to jump with it where they are. No good. That takes us to the end of the first period, and it is a 4-point ball game. The Bulldogs lead the Patriots 15-11 at the end of 8 minutes here in Game 9 of the 10th Annual Metro versus Florida Challenge. We'll be right back. The Bulldogs have the opening possession of the second period. Mark Parchi, the media director for the Metro versus Florida Challenge, here with you, and joining me for the remainder of the broadcast from the Apopka Chief, we welcome Neil Fisher.
Well, thank you again, Mark. As always, it's good to be here for this 23-game, 3-day extravaganza.
Yes, Neil, and I, in the first period, was introducing the event and explaining a little bit about its history and its purpose. And here we are in Game 9, and we're going to get a rebound offensively, and second chance basket for Alan Archer. So that cuts us back to a 2-point game. Most of the games we've had so far this week, Neil, have actually been pretty darn good. We've only had a couple that have not been competitive into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I'd say really only 2 of them have at least not left a little bit of doubt as to the outcome.
Maxwell tie on a freedom jumper.
Of course, we got a treat too as far as the history and record books. Seminole putting up 90, I believe it was 93 points, second highest total ever.
Offensive foul is called against number 0. Rodney Bryant is first, the team's 4th. And this is something that I always am so impressed with Scott Williams, who puts this event together, because it's so hard when you do a beginning of year tournament, or, well, this is not truly a tournament, but a showcase nevertheless,
Right.
To really predict how the matchups are going to go. And he does a pretty good job every year of giving us a lot of great basketball with teams that are very well matched with each other.
Yeah, of course, this matchup is Freedom representing the Metro versus Mount Dora Christian Academy. And you got a matchup of a perennial smaller class or lower class as far as the number school taking on a high class that usually does
Archer
okay.
steals 2 back for the Patriots.
So, of course, Mount Dora Christian Academy.
Spinelli for 3, and we'll pause for a Bulldog timeout.
Full timeout.
Full timeout requested by the Bulldogs.
Full. Yes, sir.
Welcome back to Joe Sterling Gymnasium. Mark Parchi and Neil Fisher, we're here with you for Game 9 with about 6 minutes left in the second quarter.
Yeah, Mark, and before we went to that break, I was just talking about how Mount Dora Christian Academy is expected to not only get into the playoffs, or if you prefer, the FHSA postseason tournament, but they're expected to win and advance deep into that. They were 22-6 last year, 5-1 in Class 2A District 10. So it's a matchup between a smaller classification member as far as the actual number taking on a higher classification as far as the number and freedom.
Three-point basket scored by Jace Spinelli.
So, of course, freedom comes in, and I believe probably the reason that Scott, or at least one of the main reasons Scott paired freedom with Mount Dora is they are a team that, although they did not have a particularly good year last year, they returned 8 players, including the entire backcourt.
Fremstad for 3 from McKenzie. And then a loose ball foul. Hold is called against number 3. Edwin Chapman. That's his second. And the team's 5th.
So in that respect, having 8 players come back, you do expect a lot. So I believe Scott, Coach Williams set this match up as a test, not only, you know, again, as you said, you like to match up the smaller classes against the bigger classes, but also as a test for this team that's looking to take the next step.
Putback is made by Jagger Fremstad.
And so far, as you mentioned, that competitive trend continues here. Freedom certainly looks like a team that went through their lumps last season and learned from those lumps.
To the corner. No good. Offensive rebound will give the Patriots another chance here. We'll go for another three-point basket scored by number 13, Holden McKenzie. So a lot of perimeter shooting here in this game. Haven't seen a whole lot going on in the paint.
Yeah, and of course, Freedom's going man-to-man here. Mount Dora Christian is actually playing a zone. So we have seen very little outside of man-to-man on defense in this event so far.
Well, that speaks to the quality of the teams both in the Metro Conference and in the greater Central Florida area talent that Coach Williams is able to find for this event. Here we go outside again, and it's good. Austin Davis Garcia on the pass from Jagger Fremstad for 3, and we'll pause for a Patriot timeout.
They both called timeout at the same time.
And we'll call it, it's actually a Bulldog timeout, 30-second timeout requested by the Bulldogs. So a little rare circumstance there. Both coaches wanted timeout at the same time. All right, welcome back to Joe Sterling Gymnasium.
Yep, streak's over. Restart new streak.
So, yeah, both teams have come out hot here. As far as field goal percentage, Mount Dora has actually cooled off in this period, while Freedom has maintained. I know, of course, they've made 3 of their last 4 field goal attempts. Last 2 have been from the behind the arc, and that's given Freedom this multiple possession lead.
All right.
30-second timeout is called by the Patriots. Welcome back to Joe Sterling Gymnasium. Patriots on a 17-6 run since the quarter changed over. They trailed by 4 at the end of the first, and now they are up by 7. The three-point gods are being kind to the Patriots in this period. Now we'll get finally something from the inside. It's promptly stuffed away. That's a nice block there by number 22, Jabril J.
Yeah, Mark, couple of three-pointers on the last couple of possessions here for Freedom, and that's really given them this multiple possession lead. Both came from the left side, inside-outside rotation of the ball, as well as player movement. Again, Freedom is in man-to-man.
Jack Webster and 1. Foul is called against number 23, Maxwell Dye. That's his second, the team's 6th. Webster shooting 1.
Some great body control there by Webster, understanding the situation and where and how to use that body control.
And we'll get Max Dye back into the game for Webster after his successful three-point play. Stolen, good defensive work by Jay there. At the other end, can't make anything happen in transition. Put back, no good either.
Ah! Wow, 3 opportunities there. Again, Freedom has been shooting hot, Mount Dora cold. You see it right there, just couldn't quite get that touch.
White 1.
Hold is called against Patriots number 1, Braden Van Bart, his first, the team's 5th. Returning to the game for the Bulldogs, Jack Webster.
And just so you know, fouls are at 5 both, so shouldn't be much of an issue. Free throws, we might get into the bonus, but shouldn't get too far into it. Another missed opportunity there, field goal attempt by Mount Dora. They just can't find the basket right now after a fairly strong start, percentage-wise.
Holden McKenzie for 3 on the pass from Wilfred Padilla.
And also just want to point out too that Mount Dora are getting most of their shots, or the majority of their shots, from inside the paint. So they're not only having trouble connecting right now and getting the conversions, but they're having trouble doing it from inside under the basket. The Freedom's doing an excellent job of rotating that ball around the perimeter, getting that 1 or 1.5 second separation and getting that ball up.
Two blocks in a row for the Patriots there, and the Bulldogs continue to be frustrated at the basket. And here they'll catch a break with a steal. And they'll give it right back. Traveling Patriots ball.
So a pair of turnovers there, a break for Mount Dora.
39.1 ticks remaining on the half.
Actually a break for Freedom.
Yeah.
In the aspect that no foul, no harm, as they say.
Yeah. Three won't go for Van Bart. Rebound goes directly to Bryant. So the Bulldogs in the last 3 minutes or so have managed to stop the bleeding, but they have not managed to turn the momentum in their favor. They're going to be trailing going into the half, and they're going to have to do something quick here. Rodney Bryant draws the foul on the layup attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. The Patriots foul is called against number 1, Braden Van Bart, that's his second and the team's sixth.
So again, excellent job there by Bryant to draw the foul and understand the situation. Saw the opening, saw some out of sync rotation there by Freedom, and immediately lowered the shoulder and drove into the middle of the lane. And again, these are much needed points for Mount Dora. Obviously they're having trouble, as we mentioned a number of times here, getting the ball to drop from the field. So you guys manufacture and get your points from elsewhere. Great way to end the half with that momentum and an establishment of being able to run your offense again and create some pressure on Freedom in the fact that they're going to have to keep playing strong defense.
That takes us to halftime, and it is a 5-point advantage. A good second quarter for the Patriots, a 20-11 game in the second period, and that puts us at a 31-26 total score so far as we head to intermission here at Game 9 of the 10th Annual Metro versus Florida Challenge. We'll take this opportunity to recognize some of our partners who helped to make the Metro versus Florida Challenge possible, beginning with our friends at Baptiste Orthodontics, now with 3 locations in the Orlando area to conveniently serve you. They are bracing you and our community for success. Dr. Baptiste and his partners at Baptiste Orthodontics are proud supporters of all things Orange County Public Schools, and in particular Apopka High School and the Metro versus Florida Challenge. Call them for a free consultation on braces, clear aligners, Invisalign for children and adults, and much more. Or visit BaptisteOrthodontics.com for information about their 3 convenient locations, including their newest one that opened just last year, right here in the heart of Apopka, across the street from Kitland Nelson Park. We also would like to thank our friends at Elevate Orlando. Elevate Orlando is a civic nonprofit focused on helping students grow in strength of character and application of essential life skills. They are partnered with Orange County Public Schools, in fact 14 of them, to provide a 98% graduation rate and 96% post-secondary placement. Join the more than 1,500 students benefiting from Elevate Orlando. We also thank AM 1520 WBZW, your hometown station, for their ongoing support of Apopka basketball. And we'd like to thank Apopka Commissioner Kyle Becker for his support as well. We also thank our title sponsor for the Metro versus Florida Challenge, St. Germain Chiropractic. If you're in an auto accident or in pain, call St. Germain Chiropractic, 407-889-3223, or visit stgermainchiropractic.com for all of your help with back and neck pain, headaches, auto accidents, slip and fall, musculoskeletal conditions, and much more. They accept most insurance, and they offer the best non-invasive healthcare services in the Central Florida, Orlando area. St. Germain Chiropractic. And for those of you joining us on the webcast, we will be back in about 8 minutes with more of Game 9 here at Joe Sterling Gymnasium for the 10th Annual Metro versus Florida Challenge. Welcome back to Joe Sterling Gymnasium. Mark Barchi, Media Director for the Metro versus Florida Challenge, joined by Neil Fisher from the Apopka Chief. And we're going to get a long two-point jump shot from Jay Spinelli to open up second half scoring.
Quick there, Mark, huh?
Yeah, and wasting no time getting points on the board.
Didn't even finish the introduction there. So again, looking at the second half or first half stats, really field goal percentage has been the difference here, and we see it again. Well, at least it looks like we might be having a turning of the tide as Mount Dora converted on their first attempt. Freedom did not. So 32% from the field, that's 9 of 28 for Mount Dora Christian, 46% for Freedom, 12 of 26. Neither team has shot the ball particularly well from the three-point range. So the difference, and we've seen this in a number of games, Mark, has really been the two-point range inside that paint. Freedom is actually 7 of 12. They're a little bit above 50%. Mount Dora only 6 of 18, 33%.
Basket stolen by Austin Davis Garcia.
And again, I pointed out in that first half that Freedom was really emphasizing, Freedom was actually scoring or taking most of his shots from the perimeter there, while Mount Dora was emphasizing trying to get inside using a lot of drives.
Fouls called against number 10, Brian Munoz. That'll be his first personal foul. Excuse me, second, hit the team's first this half.
So even though Mount Dora has been emphasizing going inside more than the perimeter game, it has yet to pay dividends, or at least in the first half. It does seem to be paying dividends here in the second half, as they've cut the lead now down to one possession. And another turnover.
Yep,
That's
stolen there by Webster. We'll go to the other end. Quick three, not going to go. Rebound goes to Van Bart.
And one thing I've noticed in the 20-plus years that I've been covering high school basketball here in Central Florida is the trend is that the smaller schools, as far as the number of classification, they tend to shoot the ball very well from the free throw line.
Spinelli picks up 2 on the steal.
They also tend to emphasize ball handling a little bit more so, or at least execute ball handling. Some strong offensive rebounding there for the Patriots. Again, getting good position under the basket.
Fremstad for 2 on the pass from Munoz.
Much needed basket there for Freedom to kind of regain some momentum, but also to establish their game. Again, they did not go to the inside much in that first half. They've done it more so here in the second half.
Second chance basket scored by Jabril Nadaye.
And again, Mount Dora Christian has come out here shooting the ball tremendously better than they did in that first half. Seemed to get some of their Wheaties there at halftime.
Yeah, certainly now they're back to a 1-point ball game. And I don't know who he thought he was passing to there. Out of bounds. Bulldogs ball.
And the turnover, at least in the first half of this third quarter, has come to rear its ugly head here for Freedom. 5 already.
Come to the X so I can see you sub.
And certainly Mount Dora has taken advantage of those turnovers.
Nice block there. Fremstad gets the block and the rebound. To the inside. Maxwell Dye gets the basket and a chance to make it a 3-point play. The foul is called against number 34, Jack Webster. That's his first personal foul. And the team's first this half. Webster shooting 1. Excuse me, that's Dye shooting 1. Webster on the rebound.
So Dye now with 5 points. Again, Freedom remains in the man-to-man defense.
Spinelli bails out the Bulldogs, gets them an offensive rebound and a chance to do this again.
Who's fouling?
22.
Foul is called against Bulldogs number 22, Jabril James. That's his third personal foul, the team's second this half.
So again, Mark, what the Metro versus Florida challenge is very simply, you have a representative from the Metro Conference in each game taking on a representative from the Florida contingency in every game, and we add up who scores more victories, Florida or Metro.
Jay Spinelli coast to coast.
And then every school in every public high school in Orange County is considered a member of the Metro Conference.
Foul called against Bulldogs number 2, Jay Spinelli. That's his first personal foul, the team's third.
And therefore, if the school is not in the Metro Conference, they are a member of the Florida contingency. Florida, of course, has won this event only twice. This is the 10th annual Metro versus Florida Challenge. And Scott Williams, the coach of Apopka High School Blue Darters, is the mastermind, the guy who came up with this idea.
Chapman on the rebound.
So again, mention that Freedom was shooting over 50%, 7 of 12 from two-point range at halftime. That percentage has certainly come down here in the second half, while turnovers have gone up, and there's an example.
Austin Davis Garcia steals 2 for the Patriots.
So Freedom taking a page out of the Mount Dora Christian Academy playbook. First turnover of this third quarter by MDCA.
Putback is made by Spinelli.
And just like that, MDCA has cut this lead to 1 possession. And again, Mark, looks like they got their Wheaties at halftime there. Stephen Hayes probably, Coach Hayes let him know that he was not pleased with their overall performance there. At least the statistics bear that they were not playing up to the standard accustomed to.
Foul called against number 2, Jay Spinelli. That's his second personal foul. And the team's fourth.
MDCA remaining in their 2-3 zone. The only team that has used something other than man-to-man defense consistently.
3-point basket.
Who scored it?
I forgot. I just knew it was a 3.
Who scored that?
Freedom remaining in man-to-man as we get to 1.5 minutes here in the third quarter.
Reach in. White 4.
Breach is called against Alan Archer. That's his first personal foul, the team's second this half. Checking in for Freedom, number 5, Wilfred Padilla.
Smart play there.
White 0, shooting 1.
Foul called against number 0, Etienne Gomez, his first, the team's third. The basket scored by Jack Webster is good. He's at the line shooting for the 3-point play.
So, Mark, we've seen a very competitive game here, even when Freedom had control of establishing their game. They were never up by more than 3 possessions.
No challenge on the rebound there. Bulldogs seem to be more concerned about stopping a fast break as we close in on the last 70 seconds of this period. And we're going to get a foul by the sideline.
Black 4, black 4.
Foul's called against number 4, Isaiah Bryant, his first.
So a minute left here. Again, Freedom has withstood this much better play by MDCA here in the third quarter, maintaining their lead.
Held ball. Possession, Patriots.
So again, Freedom did not go very often inside there in that first half, doing so much more frequently here in the second half.
Out of bounds. Bulldogs ball.
And
checking into the game for Mount Dora, Christian, number 3, Edwin Chapman.
And that's been their bugaboo here in the second half, or at least the third quarter. Turning the ball over, 6 turnovers here for Freedom.
Austin Davis Garcia also back in for the Patriots.
Fortunately, Freedom is maintaining a fairly strong shooting percentage, 46 at half, about the same here in the third quarter. So that has overcome the turnovers somewhat. Some tough physical rebounding inside there for Freedom.
Out of bounds, Bulldogs ball.
So again, Mark, as we come to the conclusion here of the third quarter, Freedom maintaining their 1 possession lead for most of this third quarter. There have been some FHSAA changes made by the FHSAA.
Rodney Bryant gets the last word of the third period, and we have a new ball game that ties it up 42-42, and it's going to come down to the last 8 minutes. The Bulldogs and the Patriots all knotted up going into the fourth quarter here in Game 9 of the 10th Annual Metro versus Florida Challenge.
And I was going to say there, Mark, we'll talk more about those changes when we come back.
Welcome back to Joe Sterling Gymnasium. Mark Parchi here with Neil Fisher, ready to take you through the last 8 minutes of game number 9. We got a tie going here. Nice block shot on the opening possession.
So taking a quick look here at the stats, Mark, definitely a change here for Mount Dora. Of course, they were shooting only 32% at halftime.
0, Rodney Bryant from Jack Webster to open up fourth quarter scoring.
They went 7 of 16 MDCA from the field, so they now have a total of 16-42. Freedom's also improved slightly as well. going from 46 to 50, now shooting 17 of 34. Freedom also holds a 25 to 20 advantage in rebounds. However, MDCA has cut that percentage, field goal percentage, via the turnover, offset the disadvantage. 17 turnovers for Freedom, 8 for MDCA. Freedom actually had 7 turnovers in that fourth quarter. MDCA has also gone to the line twice as many times as Freedom, 7 of 8 from the line, only 2 of 4 for Freedom. And as you mentioned, Mark, at the end of the third quarter, a brand new ball game here, not just tied again, no longer tied, but for the first time today, MDCA leads.
Bryant on the rebound.
And again, they shot the ball much, much better in that third quarter, 7 of 14 actually, 50%. So they matched Freedom's overall total. Leading scorers for MDCA is Jay Spinelli with 14, Rodney Bryant with 12. Freedom countering with 21 from Jagger Fremstad. No one else is in double digits for the Patriots. Did Freedom just turn it over?
No. Missed 3. That was a turnover, though.
Jay gets the steal. And it sets up a jump shot by Rodney Bryant. And you see the excitement there by Coach Hayes. We'll pause for a timeout. Full timeout requested by Freedom. Make it a 30-second timeout requested by the Patriots. All right, welcome back to Joe Sterling Gymnasium. Mark Barchi here with Neil Fisher. With the last 5 minutes, 48 seconds, a good couple of minutes for the Bulldogs. Freedom, jumper, good. Basket by Jagger Fremstad.
So Freedom, Mount Dora is not only taking their first lead of the game, but that is their biggest lead, 2 possessions.
The J answers with a jumper for the Bulldogs.
And again, very smooth play there by Mount Dora. Excellent execution in the passing game.
Holden McKenzie from downtown from Ostis Davis Garcia.
So we have 5 minutes left here in this ball game, a 48-47 lead by MDCA. And real quick, we'll talk about this more as today moves on, Mark. But there have been some changes by the FHSAA as we get a beautiful body control leading to a Baduse.
Austin Davis Garcia under the basket for 2.
So the FHSAA has reduced the amount of classifications from 9 to 7, which of course means you're going to have larger districts, 7 minimum, 7 members minimum, some even as many as 9. And that also means that we have a change in the format. There are 4 districts in each region across the state. Each of the 4 district champions get an automatic berth into the FHSAA postseason tournament. The last 4 seeds four berths are now of a wild card nature, and those are determined based on a point system overseen by maxpreps.com. And of course, now we have highest versus lowest seeds matching up in each round.
McKenzie to Braden Van Bart for 3.
And so
Boy, Neil,
moving
those offensive rebounds really helping the Patriots there, and now they are back in the lead.
Yeah, I was going to point that out. 2 offensive rebounds there for Freedom. Again, if you don't at first succeed, try again, and MDCA left the door open. Freedom's been a very strong rebounding team throughout this game.
Foul is called against number 21. Jagger Fremstad is first, team's fourth.
So I mentioned at the beginning of this broadcast that Freedom did not have a particularly good season. They were only 5-21, but they have 8 players returning, including 4 seniors, and you certainly see that experience of those players translating to the rebounding game. Freedom held a 25-20 advantage in rebounding after 3 quarters. Certainly has increased here in this fourth quarter.
Austin Davis Garcia at the line, shooting 2 after the foul was called against Spinelli, his third.
So Garcia now up to 10 points. He's 1 of 3 from the, excuse me. He does have actually 11 points now. He's 4 of 6 from the floor and 2 of 2 from free throw range. Freedom's gone man-to-man the whole way on defense. Mount Dora's remained in a 2-3 zone the whole way.
Held ball, possession, Bulldogs. Jay fouled on the attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. The foul is called against number 23, Maxwell Dye. That's his 3rd personal foul, the team's 5th.
The heck? Ah, jeez.
Violation called on the Patriots. 1 more shot.
Oh, there's a critical mistake. Now you got an opportunity to re-extend that lead to 5.
And they do just that. Foul called against number 34. Jack Webster is second, the team's 7th. The basket by Maxwell Dye is good. He's at the line shooting for the 3-point play.
So Freedom getting those plays to stay within striking distance, still being able to win this ball game.
Offensive foul is called against Jabril Jay. His 4th personal foul, the team's 8th. And we'll pause for a full timeout requested by the Patriots. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to Joe Sterling Gymnasium. Ready for the last 2 minutes, 40 seconds of this ball game. It's been a tight one all day long. And we're going to get a steal here.
Yeah, Mark, you mentioned that Scott Williams, the director, he's the coach of Apopka High School. For those of you new to this event, does an excellent job matching up teams in terms of providing a competitive game. Certainly I've seen an example of the competitiveness in this game. Neither team is led by more than 3 possessions. Freedom led for the majority of the first half and into the third quarter. Seeing some strong passing here, but even stronger defense, rotation defense. Mount Dora covering their areas. And Freedom probably would have been better served to take the ball out there.
Basket scored by Rodney Bryant. We're back to a 1-possession ball game. We'll pause for a Bulldog timeout. 30-second timeout requested by the Bulldogs. That leaves 2 timeouts left on each side. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. $1.49 left in this one.
And as we come back here real quick, remember field goal percentage has been the story statistically. Freedom shooting 50% through 3 quarters. They're pretty much the same. MDCA off to a very slow start, 32 at halftime. They've brought that up to about 40 here in the second half. So MDCA has certainly shot the ball much better here in the second half. Freedom has relied more on the perimeter game.
Out of bounds. Bulldogs ball. And that is just precisely what Freedom did not need right there, because now MDCA has a chance to tie or at least to cut it to within 1 on this possession.
Yeah, Freedom shooting the ball much better, much stronger perimeter game, and that's really been their strength. However, the turnover, and you just saw it there, over 20 for the game, has offset that strong percentage.
Number 3, Edwin Chapman makes the putback, and we'll pause here for a timeout. And it's a full timeout requested by the Bulldogs. Coming up next here at the Metro versus Florida Challenge, we've got game number 10. It'll have a tall order to fill to be as good as this one, but University and Windermere Prep stand ready to make it happen. That's coming up at 12:15. And obviously we're not going to make quite that time because we'll need at least 10 minutes to warm up, but we should be pretty close to on time for that one. Again, University versus Windermere Prep coming up 10 minutes after the conclusion of this game. We hope you'll stay with us for that. Later today, we've got lots more Metro versus Florida Challenge action for you. Cypress Creek plays Winter Springs in the 1:45 time slot. West Orange versus Auburndale at 3:30. Olympia versus Bartow at 5:30. And then Dr. Phillips versus Oviedo at 7. We'll wrap the day with Boone versus Bishop Moore at 8:30 in the nightcap.
By the way,
Patriots have the ball at their own baseline.
so now Mount Dora goes to a 1-2-2 half-court press here. Actually
Another
trapped.
turnover. Opportunity to go ahead, and we get a foul. Edwin Chapman draws the foul. He'll go to the line and shoot 2 for the Bulldogs. Foul called against Patriots. Number 13, Holden McKenzie. That'll be his 2nd personal foul and the team's 6th.
So again, the story of this game, at least statistically, continues. Freedom has shot the ball very well, around 50% for the entire game. They've relied on perimeter shooting to open up the inside, done a very good job, but all of those advantages from the shooting has been offset with over 20 turnovers.
And here, Chapman cashes in and takes the lead, so now the onus is on Freedom here at the very end, and it's going to be another turnover.
So again, MDCA going with a 2-3 zone for almost the whole game. They switch it up to a 1-2-2 half-court trap, and they can great call there by Coach Hayes to switch the defense.
Full timeout is requested by the Bulldogs, now leading by 1 with 49.7 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Here's your game reset. Neither team has a foul to give. We'll go to the line and shoot at least 1-1 on all fouls for the rest of the game. Watching their fouls, we have Jabril J with 4 on the Bulldogs, and Maxwell Dye has 3 for the Patriots. Jay Spinelli has 3 for the Bulldogs. Leading scorers, Bryant with 16, Spinelli with 14, Chapman with 10 on the Bulldogs side. On the Patriots side, we've got Davis Garcia with 10, McKenzie with 12, and Fremstad with 16, along with 8 rebounds.
Did you mention the fouls? So again, Mark, as you mentioned, 8 fouls been called on Freedom, which means MDCA will be in bonus the rest of the way.
And they're going to pull that trigger right now.
White 1.
Foul is called against Patriots number 1, Braden Van Bart. That's his 3rd personal foul, the team's 7th, and it will put Chapman at the line shooting 1-1 bonus.
Chapman with 10 points for the game. He's only 1 of 7 from the field. However, 4 of 4 from the free throw line. Oh, and worst possible time to miss his first free throw.
And a foul on the rebound that's going to put the Bulldogs into bonus and give them a chance to retake the lead. That's just exactly what you didn't want to happen.
You mean Freedom?
Yeah, I said Patriots.
Oh, okay, I thought
Foul's called against number 34, Jack Webster. That's his 3rd. Team's 9th, shooting bonus, Jagger Fremstad. Well, Neil, I am not the first or 100th or probably 1,000 persons to say this, but free throws win ball games.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of free throws, Fremstad is now 2 of 3, total of 20 points. And man, got some a page taken out of MDCA's book.
Held ball, possession, Patriots. Patriots coach desperately wanted a foul to be called there. They will at least get the ball, though, even though they won't get free throws for it. And now the Bulldogs are going to have to foul. Yeah, they don't have a choice. Foul is called against number 3, Edwin Chapman. That's his 3rd personal foul, the team's 10th, and it puts the Patriots into double bonus. At the line, shooting 2 is number 2, Austin Davis Garcia.
Yeah, Chapman there was trying to create some harassment, trying to get a quick turnover, but that was the right call.
Trainers!
So stoppage in the action here, chance for everyone to catch their breath.
It looks like Van Bart may have found a little blood on his hands, perhaps, so he's going to see the trainers.
And Davis Garcia now up to 12 points, 2 of 3 from.
Edwin Chapman, coast to coast. That takes it back to a 1-point ball game. 21.2 seconds. And a full timeout is called by the Bulldogs. That'll be their final timeout with 21.2 seconds remaining in the ball game. All right, welcome back to Joe Sterling Gymnasium. 21.2 seconds left in a nail-biter.
Now we're seeing a full court trap here.
Austin Davis Garcia is fouled deep in the backcourt. He'll go to the line and shoot 2 for double bonus.
Mount Dora Christian Academy has relied on a 2-3 zone, traditional 2-3 zone for almost the entire game. The last 2 minutes, though, they have gone to full court traps and presses. And Davis Garcia, as you said, back at the line. He has 12 points, was 3 of 4 from the line. And of course, in a 1-point game, you cannot afford to miss your free throws there.
No, certainly not, because that could be the difference at the other end in the next 19 seconds between a tie ball game and a win for the Bulldogs if they're able to convert.
Davis Garcia's got to put the miss behind him, gets the second. So at least you need 2 points here, a traditional bucket to tie the ball game if you're
That's
MDCA.
what they're going to go for, and they got it. Chase Spinelli ties the game, new ball game with 10 seconds left.
I'd say poor defense there by Freedom. The Red Sea parted. Same thing on the other end here from MDCA.
And that takes us to the end of regulation. What a thrilling finish to our 4th period, and that means that we are not going to solve this one in 32 minutes. We're going to need an extra 4. We are going to overtime. So, ladies and gentlemen, here are the rules for how overtime works. We'll clear the possession arrow, and we'll have a new jump ball. All team fouls and personal fouls from the second half retain over into the overtime period. That means that Freedom will continue to shoot double bonus, and the Bulldogs will continue to shoot 1-on-1 bonus until they hit 10 fouls. Currently watching personal fouls, Edwin Chapman and Jabril J with 4 each. Those will continue to carry over. On the Patriots side, Maxwell Dye and Braden Van Bart have 3 each. We'll put 4 minutes on the clock. Each team gets 1 additional full timeout, so that means that the Patriots now have 3 full timeouts, and the Bulldogs have 1 full timeout remaining.
And again, I would, again, Mark, both teams had a couple opportunities to walk away with a victory at the end of the game there, about the last 20 seconds. Of course, a missed free throw. Both teams had that Red Sea effect there as the middle of the floor just opened up and neither of the shooters could put the ball down.
All right, Bulldogs win the jump. That means possession arrow will go to Freedom. Edwin Chapman strikes first in the overtime period.
Yeah, again, not really great defense there by Freedom. Poor rotation.
Bryant not able to convert after the steal. Rebound goes to Fremstad. Long distance from McKenzie won't go. Rebounds into Jay. Jack Webster from Jabril J. So 2 unanswered buckets from the Bulldogs to open up this overtime period. Narrowly avoiding the over and back since that was deflected, but then the Patriots will turn it over anyway. Checking in for Freedom, number 1, Braden Van Bart.
So again,
also in for the Patriots, number 4, Alan Archer.
So I mentioned throughout this game that turnovers have been the great equalizer. And it continues here into overtime. A pair of turnovers took the 1 possession lead up to 3 for Freedom. mean, Freedom doing the turning over.
Van Bart swings to Garcia to the other corner.
3-point basket for Van Bart on the pass from Brian Munoz.
It's a full.
And we'll pause for a timeout. Full timeout is requested by the Patriots.
That was in the old gym.
Bulldogs will bring us back in.
Yep. White 10.
The hit is called against number 10, Brian Munoz, his third personal foul of the team's 8th, and Jay Spinelli will shoot 1-1.
Oh yeah, I started football in 91. Baseball in 94. All the sport, yeah.
So Spinelli, 16 points, 2 of 5 from, 17 points now for Spinelli, 7 of 9 from the field. And these, believe it or not, are his first 2 free throws.
But they never have it.
And he hits them both, and we're up to a 66-63 lead. So that 3-point bucket a minute ago is the only shining light for the Patriots. It's keeping them in this overtime period. They're going to try to get another one here, and it bounces out.
Did 2 hook them? Or did 21 push them down? White 21. Two hooks.
Fouls called against number 21, Jagger Fremstad. That's his second personal foul. The team's 9th at the line shooting. 1-1 bonus, Jay Spinelli.
Well, Neil, he didn't have any free throws until just now, but now he's going to get another pair. Well, possibly a pair. He'll have to earn the second one. This will be the last time we shoot 1-1 for the rest of the ball game.
Yeah, Spinelli, 18 points, now up to 19 as the lead grows to 2 possessions. As you mentioned, Mark, and I did the last time Spinelli was at the line, had not taken a free throw until that last possession, but now he's 3 of 3. Make that 4 of 4.
Checking into the game for Freedom, number 13, Holden McKenzie.
And Mount Dora's going to remain with full court defense here. At least they keep Chapman in the backcourt. And yet another turnover, and I think that's just about going to do it if Freedom, if we can convert these 2 free throws.
Foul is called against Jagger Fremstad. That's his third personal foul. The team's 10th. At the line now shooting double bonus, Jabril Njay.
So a very exciting game, and again, Freedom's held the lead for almost this entire contest, at least the regulation, but they have not been able to cure the turnover ills. Over 25, and that's been the great equalizer. As I've mentioned, they've shot around 50% from the field. MDCA got off to a horrible start, showing only 32% from the field after the first quarter. They have improved, but they're still almost about 12 percentage points behind, and yet they have not been able to take the lead. And yet Edgewater falls behind here in overtime.
Freedom.
Freedom. Freedom has not been able to take the lead, and now they're on the verge of falling behind by 4 possessions.
White 13.
Foul is called against number 13, Holden McKenzie. That's his 4th personal foul. At the line shooting double bonus, Rodney Bryant.
So Bryant at the lead now with 17 points, 7 of 19, only 7 of 19 from the field, 3 of 3 from the free throw line, make that 4 of 4, and a 4-possession lead as we approach 1 minute left.
Alan Archer on the pass from Braden Van Bart. We'll pause for another timeout.
Wireless.
And so obviously Freedom needed to get a basket there. They went inside as well, but they needed to do it quickly. So mission accomplished. Cut the lead back down to 3 possessions when we come back.
No, this only in the NBA you do that. No.
And for those of you waiting on the next game, don't worry, we've still got it coming for you. University takes on Windermere Prep. That obviously did not start 10 minutes ago, but it will start 10 minutes from the conclusion of this game. So if you are a Cougar or a Laker fan here in the arena, don't go anywhere. If you are listening to us online, you'll have to, of course, switch to that broadcast, but we are going to bring that to you in its entirety.
So Freedom now going full court, man-to-man. Actually, they're trapping.
White 0 double bonus.
The 5 seconds coming off the clock. So Bryant at the line, 18 points. He is 7 of 19 from the field. Was 4 of 4 from the free throw line. Now 5 of 6. Again, that's an important point. Brings the lead back up to 6. Actually, it might not even matter here as Freedom yet again turns the ball over. They have to be close to 30 for the game.
Well, in that case, that was just a bad 3 that got rebounded by the Bulldogs. Foul's called against Jagger Fremstad. That's his 4th personal foul. And it will send number 3, Edwin Chapman, to shoot 2.
So Chapman with 14 points, 4 rebounds. 4 of 10 from the field, 6 of 8, now 7 of 9 from the free throw line. And MDCA has not shot the ball well in the last 3 possessions from the line, but well enough to maintain a 3-possession lead. Or at least if you prefer a 2-possession lead in which 2 3-point field goals are converted. So again, probably the last time I'll mention this in this game, Mark. Freedom shot the ball extremely well, around 50% for the majority, but in the last 2 minutes, they have cooled off here, and that's really been the difference, along with the turnovers.
White 1.
The last 3 possessions, Freedom has not turned the ball over, but they did turn the ball over close to 30 times in the possessions before that, which set up MDCA being able to get cut into a deficit and then take the lead and now further extend that lead here in overtime.
All right, last 18 seconds. Patriots pretty much have to score here in order for this to even be possible. Putback is made by number 4, Alan Archer. That gives him 10 points for the day, and we'll pause for another foul. Foul called against number 13, Holden McKenzie. That's his 4th personal foul.
So, as you mentioned, Mark, absolutely had to score there for Freedom. They do that. Still, though, very unlikely they're going to be able to rally here with 7.6 seconds left.
You got two timeouts?
Spinelli now up to 22 points for the game. He did not have any shots here until about 3 minutes were left. He's now taken 8, going 7 of 8 from the free throw line.
Uncontested. Austin Davis Garcia gets the last word, but the Bulldogs pull it out in overtime. 75-69 is your final score in an extra 4 minutes of play. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so much for coming out to support your Bulldog and Patriot athletes. Thanks also to those of you who joined us online on our YouTube channel, Metro vs. Florida Challenge. Don't go anywhere except the concession stand. Game number 10 coming your way right now between the University Cougars and the Windermere Prep Lakers. We're going to start that in about 10 minutes. Those of you on our online webcast, please make sure that you switch out and head over to our next webcast, Game 10. We'll see you there in about 10 minutes.